What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Ricky D checking in. Another episode, Sports Corner from the 216. Good evening and welcome to Sports Corner from the 216. It's your boy again, Ricky D checking in. What's going on? How y'all? How you dads out there enjoy your Father's Day? Huh? But you know I'm your host again, Ricky D. And guess what? Tonight we got a loaded show. You already know the Guardians coming into one of the biggest stretches of the season, and they ain't even got their boy Jose with them. The Browns is getting a little closer every week. It get a little closer to the guess what training camp, and the questions haven't gone away. You already know the Browns. And there's been a little bit of extra news going on lately with them. So, hey, the questions haven't gone away, like I say. And of course, the Cavaliers, this the offseason, the NBA draft tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Free agency about to take off. You already, I can guarantee before the draft starts, it's going to be a big trade. That's if it isn't a trade going on right now because in other news, if you've been listening, you heard. You already know. Plus, you already know we cover the biggest stories that's going on from around the sports world. Then we wrap everything up with that new segment, a continuation from the other podcast, Think and Reflect podcast show, where you can listen to archive episodes on Spreaker by iHeartRadio and on YouTube. That's Think and Reflect podcast. You can also find them on Think and Reflect TV, Network TV. Hey, if you out there watching right now, if you out there watching, let me know. Let me know where you're watching from. If you out there watching right now, if you tuned in live with us, let me know where you're watching from. Cause right now we on YouTube, TikTok, and Kick. We messing with Kick tonight. So if you're a kicker, go on over there and log in and follow us on Kick. Sports Corner from the 216. Let me bust a couple moves real quick, y'all. Yeah, that's why you supposed to just slap it on there. But if you yeah, we over on Kick tonight. I'm just doing a little finagling right now. Don't lose me. Get this shit popping. Excuse my language. We about to just go in right here. Yeah, this your boy again, Ricky D, sporting my one of my Father's Day gifts. This fresh old state hat. Pretty, ain't it? Ooh. I know some of y'all are like, man, where you get that? I need that. Don't forget to check out that ticker, that Poly Market. Oh, by the way, I didn't forget. I just didn't get to it. The link is not in the bio, but be looking for it. And if you're interested, send me a DM on Sports C 216 podcast on Instagram or Sports Corner 216 on YouTube, or email us at sportsc216 at outlook.com. Yeah, man, but if you're watching, where you watching from? Because I need to know what's the biggest Cleveland sports story right now. Of course, you know it's full go for the Guardians. We trying to draft NBA draft tomorrow. Training camp don't start for a couple until I think they gave the dates. I think the rookies got to report July 23rd, but that's we on the Guardians right now. You know, so we're gonna start with that with the Guardians. I really don't think, you know, like how people is they shaking up. I don't think the team in trouble, but I do think it's we about to learn about the team and the one young guy, I always call him Trezana, but his name is Travis Bazana. So, but he been balling out. You know what I'm saying? Because you know when your best player go down, you know it ain't nobody to replace him unless we got that new up and coming. So in the meanwhile, we need a team effort because Jose just one of them people, but the way that young boy, that kid, yeah, he like one of the top ranked second baseman too, Bazana. You know, but the reality is it's like the trade with the Rams, you know, verse, he him, but it's like it ain't gonna be another verse, just like it's another you come out and you build you and then you are who you are and you continue to make it, you know what I'm saying? But on that weekend recap, you know what I'm saying, Saturday was exactly what we needed from the Guardians because like I was saying, that guy Travis Bazana put together one of the best games. You know, he's still young, but it's one of the best games. 4 for 4, 2 home runs, and 5 RBIs. Man, if you're looking for a reason to be optimistic, there you go. The optimistic energy is in the air. The young player, hopefully Delata come back. You know what I'm saying? He's still down and out. Martinez, he coming back. But Sunday was a different story, though. The offense struggled again, and then we dropped the series 2-1. That's the thing. We losing these series. I think we start the series this week against Chicago, maybe, I think. Or I think it's Chicago. But the fact that they keep losing them series, you know, without Jose becomes, it's like it's harder to score. So, you know, can the pitcher continue to carry the team? Because that boy Gavin Williams start tonight. He 9-4. He going for win number 10. I think there's only one pitcher in the American League, if not the American, at least the Central, that got 10 wins. But Gavin going for that tonight if he ain't already got it. You know, because right now that's the only thing really keeping us competitive. If you think about it, is the pitching because the bats is inconsistent. That's why a lot of people feeling like we need to go make a trade. You know, um, but it's around that time like you got to give them a little bit more time. You know what I'm saying? But they should come along because like I say, the pitching can't carry the team. We don't want to wear the pitching out because pitching is what's most important when it comes playoff time when the season start getting into the the hot. So far, it ain't been no scorching summer. We actually got a cool little week this week in Cleveland for it to actually be the beginning of solstice. But at the trade deadline is coming. It's itching here closer though. And, like, do you feel? I feel like they should be aggressive in a way to where they need a bat. They need a solid bat. They got players, but it's like finding that rotation. That's one thing with baseball. It's hard to get a rhythm because you might only get 4 or 5 bats a game. You get what I'm saying? And then you might get a see. It's hard to catch that rhythm. And then batting practice, you just got to swing, but you will never have that swing. The pitch, because the pitch machine, that pitcher, he coming out with different. So yeah, but we need another bat, and we can use some outfield help because the ladder down. You get what I'm saying? He was playing outfield, but the young guys at the same time, I feel like they can make a difference too because it's just one of them youth movements. You always got to start like how they say rebuild. You rebuild, but you don't start over. You just really building while you contending. So the more time you can get your young players, and hopefully, because I think they called up the one kid Watson. He killing AAA, but the major leagues, that's a different monster. But them young guys, man, we gotta. Like I was saying a couple weeks ago, I feel like I think that they should they should make a lineup with mostly the 2 3 year like 1 2 3 in the league players like your best young players, and then of course when Jose come back you slide him in there. But the vets that's in the lineup, they gotta be on top of their game. Like Quan gotta be smack on. You get what I'm saying? Rukio, I consider him one of the young players. But somebody like we still got a David Fry. We got the one cat, Hopkins from Philly. Like a player like him, like we need y'all to kind of step it up so the young players will have something to look up to because a young player gonna always be motivated and ready to, try to excel and be the best they could be because it's when you're young, it's more of a let me prove them wrong type of, but that could get you in a bad situation also. But it can also get you ahead of the game because you might just take off. You get what I'm saying? So, hey man, we got to put a little trust in the young guys, but it wouldn't hurt to pick up a solid, rotational pitcher and maybe a nice 20 25 home run hitter. You know what I'm saying? Just somebody to solidify some power in the lineup because Travis Bazzana he can't do it. But I was saying that kid, the forerunner or the next face of the franchise because Jose getting up there. He's 30 plus. Baseball ain't as a brutal of a sport as it was, but he's still like aging. So we need somebody else to step up. And we got a nice little young nucleus, is what they call it. Like, so I could see the Guardians still having like a good run for the next 4 5 years because of the youth movement. And our farm system usually stay loaded, but you still got to incorporate them vets and sometimes to have them vets that make the team work, you got to go trade for them. Sometimes you might have to give up a few of them young pieces, especially if you're in a win now type of situation. But yeah, man, that Travis Bazana dude, he been showing out. Little Bazana, we got to come up. I wonder if they got him a nickname yet. But yeah, little Bazana been working. He been working. So at least we know we got somebody to somewhat, kind of lean on that give us, like I say, some optimism that keep us in tune with the game. Let me see if Bazana got a nigga. You know he from Australia though, so they probably gave him some like the down and under. Okay. Okay, he do got one. They call him the Wonder from Down Under and the Basmanian Devil. I like the Basmanian Devil because he got that look on his face. Like I don't think I ever seen the kid smile for real, for real, for real. For real, man. We seeing this the beginning of something special. And I was like, and they was hyping him up. I'm like, they hyping this little dude up. He must be special. Yeah, he must be special. But yeah, I just threw in the chats on Kick and on Facebook. Should Cleveland make a trade for before the deadline? That's a question I got in the chat for y'all. Yes, no, wait. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to call in, try 4-4. I know this from the 216, but I'm trying to give y'all the opportunity to call in. 440-370-2996. Make sure you text what you want to talk about. But right now we talking Guardians. You know what I'm saying? And if, when you call in before the next segment, if you're Chris Antonetti, for real, what right now, what's your next move? You know what I'm saying? What's your next move? But let's move from baseball to football because Browns fans already, I know I am. I got the old State hat on, but y'all can really see my true pride. You get what I'm saying? Browns fans, are you ready? Because I know y'all calm down because they keep the quarterback controversy going. And of course, the supplemental draft coming up today is the last day that if you're in college, you can register to be in the supplemental draft. The Sorsby cat doing a pro day soon, but they keep linking him to the Browns for some reason. But yeah, while we talking quarterback, every year the Browns fan we hear the same thing, but that's just a Browns fan keeping that faith because I could recall when the team went 31 years. I thought that next year I thought the Browns was gonna be winning team. You just had off season gives you that hope. You know what I'm saying? Training camp almost here, so now we about to really start seeing what we got as a team. You know what I'm saying? And then you know it's a lot of questions and it's more questions than answers. But that's really only what the quarterback who gonna start. Okay, some of the questions could be who how the depth chart with the receivers. That's something we gonna learn in training camp because them young boys ain't playing. Um, Concepcion, Boston, Ford, always like the thrash. He just never really got his opportunity. McCorley, one of them. Of course you got Judy and Tillman, but between one of them two might not be on the team when it's all said and done. You get what I'm saying? Like realistically, like, and like I say, there's more questions than it is answers. But the main topic as usual for the Cleveland Browns is who's going to be the quarterback. So, but I was talking about Sorsby, but I recently heard some news today from he heard some news. He's a reliable person. If you into the Cleveland media, Rizzo, the Riz man, he said he heard some rumors that people have been calling, asking about Shador. Like, why is they putting that out there? I want Shador to be the quarterback. I used to want, I was down with the Watson movement. It just didn't work. But I'm more Cleveland Brown guy than the players on the team. But I like Shador in the energy he brings to the whole organization. Like, the kid can play. He only will get better. You know, you got people saying that Watson gonna get like 6 games, Ocho Cinco. Um, but it's really about who earns that trust. But I if anything, I give Shador them 6 games. If that's true, I'm giving Shador them 6 games if he's still around because like they talking trade talks with him now. Like his value might have rocketed. Maybe that could be the reason Barry really went for him, but I would rather keep the kid and let him see what he become because I feel like he can lead this football team. You know what I'm saying? But they talking about trading him, so like Ocho Cinco saying the 6 games for Watson, then they throw that's a good storyline, but I would rather put Shador in there. Then if Shador flop, you could come back around. You get what I'm saying? Throw Watson in there. Watson don't run the board. If he don't run the table the rest of the way to where it looked like, okay, that the season, we got a season due to Watson's play. Boom. Then now you done up Watson value. You get what I'm saying? So and oh, you know what? Just clicked in my mind. If they do wind up starting Watson, because I don't really like to do the what else, but you still got to have like a little, but just if they was to sell Watson them 6 games, now if he do good, see they this trade talk about Shador just really, man, it just really put a little wrench in everything because who was expecting that to be like floating in the air? It's floating now too. You know what I'm saying? But somebody got to lead the team. The Sorsby dude is as a quarterback, and I thought he was just a reckless better. Yeah, he betted a lot, but he never bet against his team. They say he was betting with the team, and he wasn't even playing in the game. So his his gambling situation is like character wise is not like how it's being perceived. Like okay, we can't trust him. But he a gambler though, so you never know. Like if he really has an addiction. Then I heard a guy on the earlier today talking about the art dude from you remember Art Schresner or something? He was from Ohio State though, and he got drafted by Baltimore. I think they was Baltimore at the time. No, they might have been Indianapolis, but he had a real gambling addiction, and it killed his career. I think I watched a documentary on him or something too. But yeah, man, if you could pick one concern right now, what is it? The quarterback, offensive line, wide receiver depth, like I was saying, the depth chart, defense. I'm safe with the defense because we lost Miles, but Miles wasn't the whole defense. Them other players made Miles who he is also. based off of their abilities because they was doing enough to where they had to be accounted for. You get what I'm saying? So that made the job easier for Miles because now we got to count for Graham, we got to count for Collins, Wright, McGuire, Schlesinger. Now we got Williams, and now we got Verse, and we got little young dude Jefferson from Alabama. We got you know what I'm saying? We probably need to try to go find us another solid D cornerback, not an actual DB, but a good solid cornerback, or maybe the ones we got then grew up and matured over the last few years because they I wouldn't call them no names because they're professional football players, so they made it to the professional level and they still there, so they got some talent for sure. That's one thing I always say. It just be a person might be trash compared to the level that they on, but you got to think they at the highest level. So hey, if you can make money doing something you love to do, sports, and most people play sports, they've been playing it since a kid. You know what I'm saying? But can the defense remain one of the league's best without Miles? I think they still a good top 10 at the lowest top 15, but they gonna be top 10. I ain't gonna for sure, but I can say they gonna be close to it because if it can, Cleveland would be in every game, man. If that defense step it up, we just need that quarterback. Once we get that one quarterback, once we get the quarterback and we know who the quarterback is, and hopefully they can have a healthy season. Man, we got because we got a team, man. We got running backs, we got receivers, we got tight ends, we got a whole new line. You get what I'm saying? So they just got to learn to play together. So you know how receivers and quarterbacks go off season, and then they they be training together. Them linemen need to go somewhere and practice and train. They need to learn each other's movements. Take some D linemen, the trenches, the offense and the defensive linemen need to go somewhere and practice together. The Cleveland Brown defense and offensive line, the D just because the offensive line they need them people to go against, but they need to know how to sync, how to win a pull, how this person pull, how this person pass protect, how they run block. Like they need to get that continuity running, like going real good. But for real, who is the most important player? Wait, let me rewind that. But like I was just saying, consistency. So I don't need to rewind that. I'm just checking out my love. The Browns don't need no more hype. We just need play, good consistency. And if you had to, who is the most important player on the Browns roster right now? Who, out of all the people, who is the most important? Whoever win that quarterback job. That's whoever win that quarterback job. That's 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 it right there. Whoever wins that quarterback job, that's the most important position. That quarterback. We get that together. I don't see us. We gonna be hard to handle because that's the biggest concern heading into camp. The quarterback, everything else. Yeah, the line need to like I say, get that continuity going so they know how to move with each other. Because that's like synchronized the swimming or something. Like a good line, when you got a good line, that's like okay. He know the pull. They ain't gonna be tripping over no feet. You get what I'm saying? Like it's just gonna be finesse. Once they get like that, And we got bruisers, even Rocket. They talking about what they ain't talking about, but Nick Chubb was interviewed over the weekend. He was mentioning how anything could happen. I wouldn't mind bringing Nick Chubb back. They said his stats was he had like a 4.1 rushing average, 500 yards, and he was like the second, third back. Like I just really say bring him back for the love, and plus he ain't the same Nick Chubb, but the same Nick Chubb, the old Nick Chubb was 10 times better. You know what I'm saying? So he better than the average running back. So, but Rock is like who the Marshall kid probably be the odd man out if they was to bring Chubbs back. Rocket Sanders probably will lose some playing time, but it'd be Junkins and Chubb, the bell cows, the the bruisers, and then Samson. You know, we might need another little Samson because we got, but that Rocket got good hands too. You know, I think Rocket was a receiver. Oh no, that was somebody I was researching in college. I forgot the old boy name. Yeah, this your boy Ricky D, Sports Corner from the 216. Before we move on, Brew Euphoria Coffee, Dark French Roast, Caputrine, the blissful moment with every sip. Wake up to a cup of Brew Euphoria Coffee, Dark French Roast, Bitter Root Edition. Like I say, Caputrine, the blissful moment with every sip. That's Brew Euphoria. Make sure you click the link in their bio on Instagram or Facebook and order you a bag of that bitter root French dark roast bitter root. Yeah, this your boy, man. Ricky D checking in. We about to go on and start talking about them Cavaliers. It ain't really much to talk about, but man, it's about to go down in the next couple of days because, like I say, the draft is tomorrow. We got the 29th pick, but it's officially off-season mode for the bad. I love to see basketball is the funnest sport to play. Football is the most analytic, like fundamental sport to play. Baseball is just baseball is it's fun to play. You got to really know what you're watching to watch it because you got to be patient. But baseball, one of the if you make it in baseball, you might get a good check and never make it to the big leagues and still be paid. Yeah, man, but it's officially off season, man. The question becomes, are we really close? They keep saying we might sneak in and grab Giannis, but I don't want Giannis, man. You know, you could bring us LeBron, but they keep saying LeBron ain't gonna take that minimum because it's Dan Gilbert, but you don't know how bad his legacy probably worth more than a contract. But then they was saying the league wouldn't allow that to happen. Brian signed a minimum. But we waiting on Harden anyway. Once Harden make his decision, then that's how we know. Then we'll know if we can play for the books. But man, Harden riding around looking wild and crazy with the hammer on the seat in Texas. Well, I don't know what Hart. He was on something, man. I seen that mug shot. That boy, he was up to something, man. Something was going on. But we don't really need no scoring. We just need a person that ain't scared to score. Put it like that. Because all can score, but we need somebody that, because the playoffs, they got to pulling up too many jumpers. We need like a, we, I like to get Draymond for the last couple of years of his career too. Bring him with LeBron. Like dude was saying, I think his name Ethan Sands. Did he say that? But it was a NBA reporter. He was like, yeah, if you do get LeBron, you gotta get somebody. Got to come with somebody else. Got to be added to it. I like Draymond. Yeah, you know, I like. I was glad it was nice you being around Allen. You know, you're a productive player, but you valuable because of your contract and your skill set. Plus, if things don't go right, you know, Mobley's still the young up and coming. So now you could just rebuild around Mobley instead of having to go find you another, you know, top notch or hope you come up in the draft or something like that. Defense for sure, you know, we need more defensive players. That's why I like the Schroeder. Max Strus was playing hella D. Tyson nice too though. He gotta control himself because Tyson he could be a hothead. That's his problem. Tyson turns into a hothead, and then people be realizing that, then they get to messing with him. And we gonna, of course, we gonna need bench depth because half our bench about to be free agents. Well, they did just pick up Craig Porter Jr. on 4th-year option, so that go one bench player. Hopefully, he can step his game up some and give us some scoring off the bench. You know, he a good, nice size point guard that could come in and, you know, even Proctor, but Proctor, we got Proctor for like 3 years, and he was a come up second round pick. So if they can make a couple trades or maybe or just, but it's about to be about 4 or 5 new Cavs on the team this year, and that's not even including the rookie they might draft. But like I say, the draft is tomorrow. But we got to find somebody. The Cavs got to find somebody that don't play no games. Cause like I was saying a little bit ago, man, they was shooting too many threes. Like the playoffs, you got a high percentage, man. Like even if it ain't a wide open three, I ain't taking it unless you like just a pure shooter. Other than that, I'm getting the highest percentage shot I can get. And then I'm coming back and I'm playing defense. That's how I play ball. When I played the little time I played organized, I went but I was small forward. I was grabbing the rebounds. I'm scoring. I'm playing D. I was all around, man. I'm telling you. I had a tragic moment, man. And that tragic moment changed. I just sometimes I sit around and be like, man, what if? I don't like the what if, but with a moment like that, but that's based off of decisions, man. But yeah, Slap used to be like, man, you hanging with the wrong people. That was my junior high track and basketball coach. He wound up going over to the high school that I went to, Collinwood, and he was the track coach over there. He was doing the same thing. He used to really have them girls track teams on point. They used to be winning like crazy. But man, they need you got to go get veterans because you want basketball, you want that. If you can get a young core, that's cool. But basketball is one of them games where you gotta mix the veterans in because they be knowing the little tricks. It's tricks to basketball, like it's little tricks, man. I'm telling you. But if the Cavs can make one move, just one, what should it be? Because I'm thinking, dang, I don't want to give up Allen, man, but Mobley got more value either way. Excuse me. Like Mobley can be a savior, or he can get you some pieces. It all depends on what you're trying to build. So, man, we just need the money because we still in that second apron. We gotta wait. We're waiting on Harden. Harden is holding us back right now. Like, come on, Hart, man. We don't need them little kitty games you be playing sometimes, man. We trying to get ahead. You get what I'm saying? Like, do you want to win or you just? I know you got money, so of course, who don't be want more? But come on, man. We trying to win. We trying to win. I don't know what y'all on, but yeah, I think that's the biggest priority, man. To get like a score that's not scared to score. Like he gonna hit you with the elbow before you think you about to hit him with it. Bam! That's what I was saying. Mitchell should have been bam, going to the hole, not intentionally trying to elbow nobody, but watch out, body. Let them know you coming. They gonna move out your way if they know you coming. But if they know you hesitant when you trying to come in there and score two look, get a layup, and they see you fading away trying to no man, you come at them with the whole body, like knee, elbow, boom, hit them in the shoulder, roll it off the glass. Like, come on, man. It is. I know y'all the most seen athletes of them all, but everything can't be finesse, man. Sometimes you gotta tighten that lip, tighten that lip up, man. Yeah, you already know. But I'm hoping y'all liking and subscribing, man. I put some posts on Facebook, but yeah, we live over on TikTok. I see there's a few of y'all on there. Like I've been saying though, man, national and international sports, some quick hitters. The NBA draft week. Like I say, the Cavs got number 9. Let me see who they got as the top ranked players for the draft tomorrow. Okay, so the number 1 ranked player is Darren Peterson from Kansas, a point guard slash shooting guard, 6'6". This is the top 5. Peterson is widely regarded as the most gifted scorer in the class, with elite 3-point shooting, strong athleticism, and two-way potential. Scouts note his off-ball skill set and long-term on-ball handling, ball upside, keeping him number 1 on the board. Then you got the guy from BYU, the forward, 6'9", the Badansta, is a versatile forward with strong scoring, rebounding, and rim protection. Then you got Boozer, little son. He playing the same. He's the exact same height. I wonder if he big as Boozer though. Boozer is praised as one of the most complete prospects in recent memory, with elite ball handling, shooting, and proven winning mentality. He's number 2 on. See, Boozer. I remember we drafted Boozer in the second round, and I said, I'm like, the Cavs better give Boozer some money. They did some fluke. Boozer act like he was gonna sign that little contract, and I think it was Utah. I think Utah gave him some money. He was like, I'm out. Hey, I wasn't mad at him, but I was mad at him, but I wasn't. But then we got Celeb Wilson, power forward. Wilson offers a high floor, high ceiling big man with strong scoring. These big men be little though, for real. They be skinny. Then you got this a big point guard, Mikael Brown Jr. Let me see who they got the Cavs predicted to draft. I'll say they got a big man from UConn, a wing from Spanish, a stretch five, all repeatedly projected to Cleveland. The players match Cleveland's need for size, shooting, and depth. Yeah, because we do need. I like Thomas, Brian Thomas, but oh shit, the Reed dude, he averaged in the tournament he averaged 19.5, 19.5, 13, and shot 54% from the field. Physical interior presence. Yeah, we need some physicality. He got a post game. Not too many big men got the post game no more. Mm. Hey, the center, I don't want no wing like because we got what's his name, Tyson. But you'll come up on one of them Spanish players and there'll be some Manny Ginobili. Yeah. Okay, this is stretch five. Oh, okay. That's on. See, they talking if Allen is traded. Yeah, see, it's something about to go on, but I'm going after the dude from UConn and Trey Allen. That's just my idea. Yeah, but you already know we tied. I think we like half a game. Just talking major league. I think we like half a game. But it's like you say, it's this the time of the year, man. I always said this as a kid. I'm like, man, June, July is like one of the boringest times of the year because you gotta wait on training camp. Baseball be like in that time where you like, man, it ain't really that important. It's all of it's important, but it's like, dang, man, you don't really want to get into it because it's not like the stretch run. Because the baseball is 162 games, and that's just the regular season. Then you got camps, like I said, nobody be there, but you got the draft, NBA offseason. Hopefully, when free agency start or whatever, the NBA start popping off though. But NHL, it was a couple of trades. It was a big trade too. I got to get back into the NHL. I ain't really been all in on the NHL, but let me see who got traded. The Ottawa's traded. They got one. I guess they center to the Florida Panthers. He a forward. Oh, he about to be playing with his brother too. So that's double trouble for your. Yeah, man. But the next 2 weeks, the NBA gonna mess around. We gonna be like, who, what, on what team? Because I remember when I used to be younger, man, and I ain't know about the trade in the regular season. I'd be like, and then like after the trade, rather the trade deadline, and then I'll be watching the game like, when I ain't used to know when I was a kid. I thought when you played on the team, you just always played for that team. But I was like, hey, how he get on that team? He was just playing with the other team. But yeah, man, about to move on into this think and reflect segment real quick before I bounce out on y'all. I really was gonna postpone y'all, but I said let me come through on this day after Father's Day. I still got a little exhausted from yesterday, just being relaxed more than anything. But the think and reflect segment is what do you do when the leader is gone? Like, cause even even if you feel like you're a leader right now, it was somebody that you followed or that you looked up to or that um you modeled yourself after. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to sports, it's lessons. Like sports is one of the that's why like when when I started seeing the muni leagues put the names on the back of the kids' jerseys, I'm like, ooh, they kind of messing little league football up because little league football to me was always that first concept to teamwork, like learning to work with other people. But now it's like me, me, me. You know what I'm saying? Like kids already pointing at their name on the back of their jerseys at 8. So that's kind of psychologically taking them away from the concept of the whole team concept. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good example of when the leader is gone because a real team like the teams that don't do that, I give them more respect, even if they not a winning team because they still trying to keep that team concept. You know what I'm saying? Because the lesson it's not always about winning because you got to get the structure, the discipline, the consistency to even feel like you got ahead, let alone won. And you only win when it's actually a competition. Life, you can say you winning because everything going your way, but life continues to go. Like you can't just, you know what I'm saying, unless you didn't. And then you got people then that millionaires and stuff, and they still go, broke because of not having no type of leadership around them, nobody directing them. That's why I remember when they first started I think they call it the symposium, like where they teach the new kids that come into the NFL, they teach them like financial literacy and stuff like, you know what I'm saying? Because I seen the one Browns player, he got some millions or whatever, but he had like a nice little, you know, it's a nice bachelor, it's in a like decent community and everything, but because sometimes it's about what happens. When the player, when the person everyone depends on isn't there no more. That's why I be. That's like I'm always on my children. I be trying to tell everybody because especially at a young age, I tell them, man, that have fun while you young. Quote that shit is a scam. Like when you're young, especially if you start making you some money early, especially if you're doing it correctly the right way, man, you supposed to say that. Especially like if you like a young adult and you still your parents still kind of letting you get ahead, so you ain't got to just be straight out into the world paying big bills and stuff. Don't use that as a reason to go party. You know what I'm saying? Party more. Be a leader. Like lead yourself into the right direction because you could be following the wrong person, thinking you lead, but you really following. Because I can recall one point in my life where I thought I was a leader. I wasn't a follower or whatever, but in all actuality, I was following because I kept doing the same thing that everybody else was doing, even though I was trying to introduce people to this new world we in. I was trying to introduce my homies to the digital world 15 years ago. But me thinking I'm a leader, but I still follow. I got caught up in the situation, you know what I'm saying, with them. And I had, been had to go away for a little while to suffer the consequences. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm one of them people that if you sit me down like time, if I get time, I'm gonna use it wise. Put it like that. Like not just in that form, but just in life. Like you want to rest when that's why, but you want to use it like how they say you're 9 to 5, and then you come home and then you got to be your 5 to 9 or whatever. Like that's you having the time. So if you do work a 9 to 5 and then you could come home and invest some time into building your own, why not take a couple hours out the day? You know what I'm saying? That's the first step in being a leader. You know what I'm saying? When the leader is gone, because some some people like don't have guidance. You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure it out yourself. I think I was one of the ones, to be honest. I figured a lot of stuff out on the go. I learned some things from people that came before me, but I really think I picked up a lot of bad habits, though. To be honest, the good habits I got, I guess that's just my human nature, and like you be raised around certain stuff, and then it make you more curious. You get what I'm saying? And then you go try things that you shouldn't have been nowhere near, or you was just it's like. But at this point in life, once you get a certain age, they say the age 7, but that's more like you just conscious. But to really know, you probably got to be about time you about 21. You should know. They say man is 34, but you know, say for instance, so you just got to learn to step it up, man. Because like if you play sports, a player can get hurt. The coach might leave. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, well, they never really considered Miles a leader. That's what the Browns missing. Just getting back to the Browns, they don't have a true leader of the team, and that's what Shador bring. Like, but he do it. He bring it in a harmonious way. But eventually, there comes a time, man, where everybody got to step it up somewhere somehow. Like it comes to, and you can't always live off somebody. One day you're gonna have to figure it out yourself. I learned that some years ago, but it's even better to have somebody that got that same concept to part like in life. Like if your life partner like that, y'all can get through a lot of hardship together. You know what I'm saying? Because hardship is just part of life. It's just do you have the willpower to, you know what I'm saying, get through it. And that's a prime example of what to do if the leader ain't there, because now you ain't got nobody to turn to and think about or try to help you solve the problem or whatever. You just got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, there comes a time, man. You got to step it up, like I say, man. But growing up, who helped shape you? Me, man. Like I say, I had son. I was in my ways. About time I had a good father figure come around. I learned some things from you, but I kind of learned. I shaped myself getting in bull crap. You get what I'm saying? But before that, I was already like a curious kid, always trying to learn. Just my cousin used to call me Curious George. My curiosity sometimes overwhelmed me, but it helped me at the same time too. So, I ain't really mad about being a curious person because curiosity is, helps you seek things that, you know, you ain't just going with the status quo. You like your curiosity makes you explore. You get what I'm saying though? And I done been like in behavior programs, whatever. So that was something that helped me become more of a better leader too, because I done been like the program, like the one like gotta step it up, do the daily agenda, you know what I'm saying, run it up the chain. I gotta make the decisions for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I gotta report, make sure I do the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? I done did all of that as a younger adult though. Now I have children, so I've been raising children, you know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like they could do better, but they they mind states and their situations is better than when I was their age. So I feel like it's work, but people start when they start aging or growing, they start becoming their own person. So all you could do is give them some advice or make suggestions. It's still on them to make the decision. You get what I'm saying? And the pressure like that will help me grow because and they seen something in me to even put me in that position. You get what I'm saying? They was trying to empower me as a person. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my ways of figuring it out when there wasn't nobody there to lead me. And to be honest, growing up, man, like I was trying to say earlier, I really never had a real role model. Like just a person that I see daily that know me personally. Like I might have seen somebody like, and I admired, their ways or but they weren't part of my life. I just knew who they were, or they were somebody from the neighborhood, the community, such and such. But because man, I went down a bad road. You get what I'm saying? And that bad road always it affects me because I think about the time that I did lose though that I could have used to better myself. But I like I always say, man, when I was 15, I had made the choice like, hey, I'm done with the way the direction me and my buddies is going. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go on and do. I was trying to do everything correctly, man, and it just kind of the game guys came and got my ass. They say, "Oh, dude, you've been fucking up. We got you don't deserve this." I guess that's what the game guys were saying. But everything happened for a reason. Maybe it was to put me in a situation to who I am or who I'm becoming. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure, some of y'all have been out there, y'all been forced in situations where you had to kind of take on becoming the leader, like to make the situation work for everybody involved. You get what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure, man, you could tell me something. Leave it in the comments, in the chats, whatever, you know. But when I leave, I want to leave y'all with this quote. Pressure doesn't determine who you are. It reveals who you are. Did y'all get that? Pressure doesn't determine who you are. It reveals who you are. But will the Guardians win the division? Can the Browns make the playoffs? Will the Cavs make a major move? Man, what's the biggest sports story you thought about or read this week. But with that, man, thank you to everyone watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and Kick for sure. But be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, this is Sports Corner from the 216. What's your thoughts, SC216? We'll see you next week. Your boy Ricky D checking out. Catch ya.